Welcome back. We are going to be doing lesson 10 for today, area of a circle. And in this lesson you're going to need your calculator because we're going to be kind of moving a little bit quickly, and we want to concentrate on simply how to calculate the area of a circle and not have to be slowed down by the calculations at this point. We'll try to keep the numbers fairly small, but this will go a little bit quicker if you have your calculator handy. So in lesson 10.3 we found the circumference of a circle, and so in this lesson we're going to move on to the area of a circle, and we're going to give you the area. The formula for area of a circle is area is equal to pi, like we talked about yesterday, which was last time, which was 3.14 times the radius squared. And you know what a radius is now because we talked about that in lesson 10.3 as well. So let's begin by drawing a circle, and we're going to give this circle a radius of we're going to say the radius is equal to 3 centimeters. So we have a circle with a radius of 3 centimeters. And we're going to apply our formula to this, to finding the area. And again, the area is the whole surface on the inside of the circle, where circumference was, of course, the outside edges. Area is the whole surface. So let's take and apply this formula to our circle here. So we're going to say that area, again, is equal to pi times radius squared. Let's rewrite that down. And in this case, the radius squared, since our radius is 3, basically what that means is 3 squared. And we know that 3 squared is like saying 3 times 3, so 3 squared is equal to 9. And pi is 3.14. That was our calculation for pi. So our area is going to be equal to 3.14 times 9. And this number is pretty small, so we can just calculate that over to the side here, or you can use your calculator as well. So we have, just do our calculation very quickly. 9 times 3, and in this case, if we forgot about the decimal momentarily, it would be 2700. 9 times 10 would be 90 actually, and in this case 9 times, I did that wrong correctly, 90, and then in this case 9 times 4 is 36. And if we calculate it, if you put it on your calculator, of course you get 28.26. So our calculation is for the area for this circle is 28.26. We're going to put area is equal to, and then because this is area again, we're going to label it centimeters squared. So we are knowing that it is, we're calculating the area. Now let's move on to some other examples. Let's say, for example, we want to find the area of a basketball court. I'm going to go on to the next page actually, so I have a little bit more space. So let's say we want to find the area for a basketball court. So area of a basketball court. We're going to pay attention to the circle in the court. Basketball court, circle. Let's say it's the one that's at the center of the playing floor. And we're going to say that this area, let's draw our circle first. The radius, is 6 feet across. So we're going to say radius is equal to 6 feet on this circle. And again, let's write our formula down so we kind of get used to using it. So pi, area is equal to pi times radius squared. Now in this circumstance we have radius squared is, the radius is 6, so it's 6 squared. So it's like saying 6 times 6, which of course is 36. And then we're going to multiply this times pi. And again, this is where your calculator comes in handy. So if you have your calculator handy, we can say that 3.14, put that off the side. So in this case, 3.14 times 36 is equal to 113 4/100. So area of this basketball circle in the middle of the floor is 113.04 feet. And because we're figuring out area, we want to label it area. And we box that in. Keep that separate from all of our work. And again, you could have calculated this out with paper pencil as well. So 3.14 times 36. And of course, you would have gotten the same answer of 113 4/100 feet squared. So we can calculate a paper pencil as well. Now let's move on to another example of a circle. Sometimes you'll be given an example where you again are given the you're given the diameter. And so let's say the diameter of this circle is equal to 3 inches. But in order to calculate, we want to calculate the area. So in order to calculate the area, we need to find the radius. So if the diameter is 3 inches all the way across the circle, we know that the radius, half of that, is going to be 1.5 inches, or 1.5 inches. So again, we even though we were only given the diameter, we can figure out the radius from that. And so we apply our formula. So it's pi times radius squared again. And again, just so you get in the habit of the difference between area and circumference. So we have pi times radius squared. So our radius is 1.5 squared, which looks like this. 1.5 times 1.5. And if you use your calculator, 1.5 times 1.5, it's equal to 2.25. And you can stop and pause this video at any time so you can get caught up. So 1.5 times 1.5 is 2.25, and we're going to multiply that times pi, which is 3.14. And if you slide your calculator over, so 2.25 times pi, 3.14, the slant a little bit, I get 7 65 thousandths. So is equal to 7 65 thousandths, and we label it, so area is equal to inches squared. Now sometimes you're probably going to need to round your answer. Most often you're asked to round your answer to either the nearest whole number or the nearest tenth of a tenth. So in this case, if we were asked to round this to the nearest tenth, we could round this to 7.1 inches squared. So again, that would be correct as well. And again, to give us an idea if this was close or not, since we knew that we were multiplying about 3, if we were estimating, we'd say, okay, we're multiplying about 3 times about 2, which is equal to 6, if that was our estimate. And that's right on track with our actual answer. So there's another example of finding the area of a circle. Now let's do another example of finding the area of a circle. And in this case, we're going to, again, be given a circle that has a diameter of 17 feet. And so in order again to figure out area, we need to have the radius, because it's, again, the formula is radius times pi times radius squared. So if this is the diameter is equal to 17 feet, that means the radius is going to be half of that. So half of 17 is of course 8.5. So that means that the radius is going to equal 8.5. So 17 divided by 2 is equal to 8.5. So now it means we have our radius is 8.5 squared, which is 8.5 times 8.5, and that is equal to, we'll put that in our calculator here real quick. So 8.5 times 8.5 is equal to 72.25. And we're going to multiply that times pi, which is 3.14. And if we multiply that times pi, 3.14, we're going to get 226.865 feet squared, again because this is area. And again, in many cases we don't use it, and we probably are going to be asked around this to the nearest tenth or so, and so if we rounded this to the nearest tenth, we would get 226 it's closer to 9/10 feet squared. And again, if we were estimating ahead of time to see what our answer would be, we have about 3 times about 70. So if we were estimating 3 times about 70, 3 times 70 is 210. And again, that's right on track with our actual answer. All right, let's move on to some combined figures. We're going to do a combined area here. And these are kind of fun to do, but they take a couple of different steps to do this. So we're going to go and draw a triangle. And this is going to be a right triangle backwards. And we're going to label this triangle 5 centimeters and 12 centimeters. And again, you might have to pause this video and catch up as we go along. And we're going to put half a circle. And the diameter of this circle is 3 centimeters. So we have 3 centimeters. So again, we're going to find the area of a triangle first, which is equal to 1/2 of base times height. So base times height, we have 5 times 12, which is 60. And 1/2 of 60 is equal to 30 centimeters squared. So that is the area of our triangle. And then we want to find the area of a circle. We have to find the area of a whole circle first. So the area of a circle, of course, is pi times radius squared. And the radius of this circle, because it'd be half of 13, would be 6.5, or 6.5 squared. So 6.5 times 6.5 is going to be equal to, and again, calculate this out, so 6.5 times 6.5 is equal to 42.25. Again, please stop and pause the video and give yourself time to work. And we're going to multiply that times, of course, pi, 3.14. So times 3.14, and we get 132.665. But keep in mind, this is the area for the entire circle. So we're going to want to divide this by 2, because we want half of it. So we're going to divide by 2, which gives us 66.3325. So we take our 30 centimeters squared and our 66.3325 centimeters squared, and we're going to add those together.